Our foremost concern is protecting Jehovah's organization.
Good morning, Your Honors. May it please the Court, Benjamin Schatz of Manat, Phelps and Phillips, appearing for non-party appellant Philip Brumley. I'd like to try to reserve 5 minutes. Mr. Brumley is here in the courtroom. He is the in-house counsel for the defendant, one of the defendants in the case, WTPA. The statute that we're here to discuss, 28 U.S. Code 1927, imposes sanctions personally on a lawyer, and that's the reason that Mr. Brumley is here. He takes sanctions very seriously, as Judge Holderman wrote in his law review article on this. Professional reputation is very important, and we take this case very seriously. Mr. Brumley is not the first in-house counsel to ever sign a factual affidavit in litigation on behalf of his employer.
Back again.
This is all too easy.
Yeah.
The script just, well, it doesn't write itself. It's already been written, and I'll qualify that a little bit later.
Well, as the beginning clip showed, that Watchtower is only interested in protecting the organization.
That's right.
Now, that being said, we know these lawyers that work for Watchtower, they allegedly are Jehovah's Witnesses, right?
Yeah.
When they take an oath to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, well, even Jeffrey Jackson swore on his own silver Bible that he would tell the truth.
And we saw what happened there.
Yeah.
That would be presumptuous.
And he lied through his teeth.
Yeah. Well, you know, here's the issue. Look at how Brumley disqualifies himself. So let me just remind all Jehovah's Witnesses, Revelation 22. This is supposed to happen as a disqualifier after the 1,000-year reign. Once everybody's been brought back to perfection, Jehovah lets Satan out. Outside, verse 15, outside are the dogs, and those who practice spiritism, and the fornicators, and the murderers, and the idolaters, and everyone liking and carrying on the lie. If this is a disqualifier after the 1,000 years, then why isn't it a disqualifier now, Brumley? Do you guys see how this man is taking eternal life in paradise earth away from himself? This is how stupid this lawyer really is, or how much they care more about protecting the organization as opposed to their eternal life in paradise earth.
Okay, so what Mike is talking about, lawyer and Brumley, since we haven't discussed that yet, is Brumley was sanctioned and a fine for lying on 2 affidavits for about $156,000.
Yeah, we've talked about his fines before.
We've done, videos on it, and we know he appealed it. Well, he lost the appeal. It was dismissed. Well, now they have taken it to the 9th District Court, which encompasses quite a few states.
Yep.
And this court has put the video up on their own channel. So I'm going to put the link down below. Now, I know Jehovah's Witnesses won't go watch this and actually see the court hearing, because they're either going to say, oh, well, this is AI created by apostates, or, the court is lying, or whatever. They try to defend, that this is really going on.
What you just said exemplifies how easy it is for a person, anybody, under any circumstance, to lie to themselves.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the fully indoctrinated Jehovah's Witnesses, like our moms, they are so brainwashed that, it's not even funny anymore.
Well, like I said, the script is already written, because Jehovah's Witnesses believe that you're guilty by association, right?
Yeah.
You're guilty by association. If you don't report this, then you're guilty. But you forget one thing, Jehovah's Witnesses. When Moses came down off the mountain with the 10 Commandments, while they were worshiping that golden calf. Those people worshiping the golden calf had no knowledge of what was on those stones, and yet Moses killed them. And then your God Jehovah joined in and slew another 24,000. Those people weren't even given a chance. They were condemned because of association. Guilty by association. Ignorance of the 10 Commandments is no excuse. See? It's already written itself.
Now I'm going to put a clip down below so that you can go watch this. I believe this was about 27 minutes long, and it's good. So you can see Brumley actually has his own lawyer appealing this, and there is no decision by the court at this time. This was done 4 days ago, and they're going to be, discussing this and deciding on this appeal. But I want to play a clip here, and I thought this was interesting.
And that's what's missing here, and that's the original argument that we were making, is that you're dealing with a lawyer who wasn't even admitted in the court that's doing the sanctioning.
So if I'm hearing a case in the Western District of Washington, and there's an attorney who is not admitted to the Western District of Washington, but files an affidavit in the case from San Francisco in the Northern District of California, I can't sanction that lawyer under this statute.
Under this statute, that's not what this was intended to do. It's not about filing an affidavit. Now, maybe it's about the overall conduct of the litigation and the motions that caused it, but if it's purely factual, then our argument is that lawyer isn't acting as a lawyer. That lawyer is just a fact witness. And so it doesn't go to the purpose and intent of the statute.
So Brumley wasn't acting as a lawyer in that case. He was only given an affidavit. He was a fact witness. Totally deflects from the fact that he lied on the affidavit.
See how they do this?
I mean, this is just unbelievable. Now, at about 25 minutes in this hearing, the lawyer states, and in fact, I think he said it a couple of times, that Brumley is an employee of Watchtower, of their legal department. Now, we know that Watchtower pays their professional, they don't volunteer for nothing.
Right.
We knew of, I can't remember if she was a medical doctor or a chiropractor or someone who worked at Bethel headquarters. She was paid $75,000 a year for her professional services. So, don't think for a minute that these volunteer for free. Now, we know from an interview years ago that Brumley was actually asked by Watchtower high-ups to go to law school, and they would pay for everything. And in that interview, he talks about, the problems he had, how it almost changed his mind.
He almost became an atheist.
And very competitive. And they make the statement at the end of that interview, well, Watchtower won't be doing that again.
Yeah, I think the infamous, now missing Toni Morris made that statement.
Yeah, but this is interesting, the way this lawyer is spinning this to, the court. And at one point he even says there's no record of Brumley controlling other lawyers. He wasn't in control of the lawyers that were fighting this case. I believe it's Montana, the Rowland case. And it's like, really? He's the general counsel for Watchtower, the international general counsel for Watchtower. So he has no control over these other lawyers? Yeah, we call BS.
It's Brumley, you're not getting into that new system of things because you are a liar. And you sent another lawyer, lying Watchtower lawyer, to lie in your behalf.
Yeah. But like I said, it's interesting to watch just how Watchtower deflects. And I mean, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'll put the link down below. And there's a lot of things going on in JW world. So, we'll try to keep everybody updated when we can. So
Yeah.
you all have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.